much. The last time I did an event in the evening in London, it was at an underground, some of you were probably there. It's at a weird, windowless, illegal underground club in the East End called Ice Father Nation. This is better. I'm going to talk a little bit about my book, The Fault in Our Stars, and how I came to write it, and then read from the book a little bit. And so, like, almost 13 years ago now, I started, and I spent about 6 months doing that, and it was very difficult, traumatic work for me personally, not obviously as traumatic as it was for the families and kids I got to know, but I knew a lot of sick kids while I was there, and a lot of kids who died as well, and spent time with their families. And I started trying to write about that almost as soon as I stopped working there. I started writing these stories that were about the children's hospital, except that they weren't about children or a hospital. They were mostly about me, who was portrayed in these novels as a, like, tragically flawed but astonishingly handsome 22-year-old champion. And, like, most of the plots of these stories were like, which of these beautiful women doctors will this guy inexplicably win over? And they were pretty bad. The problem with those stories is that I was writing them for myself. I was making them for me. I was making them because I had something that was wrong with me that I wanted to work out in fiction. I wasn't trying to make anything for you. Honestly, I wasn't even thinking about you. I was only thinking about myself and my problems. I wasn't even thinking about the problems of the kids in my stories, who were much worse off than I was. I was so relentlessly focused on this awkwardly and or ruggedly handsome 22-year-old. That was always how I described this character, who was, again, me. It was like adverb, and then always handsome. Lots of adverbs, but then always handsome. So, fortunately, I eventually put these stories aside. And I wrote a book called Looking for Alaska, and then I thought, okay, now it's time. Now it's time to write about the children's hospital. And again, I wrote about a 22-year-old. And it wasn't time, and then I wrote An Abundance of Catherines, and then I said, now, this is it. This is the one. And it was not the one. And then I wrote Paper Towns, and then I was like, now! No. Then I tried to write a desert island novel, I wrote a zombie apocalypse story, I wrote a lot of bad things. And then my friend Esther came into my life, who was a nerd fighter. By the way, for those of you who don't know what a nerd fighter is, we're the people who fight. There are a lot of people here who don't, though, so you gotta, you have to be nice to them. There's people who fight for nerds, not people who fight nerds, obviously. It's the community that grew up around the videos that my brother and I make, and it's a community that tries to celebrate intellectualism and thoughtfulness, and tries to build places for engagement on the internet instead of places that are just about distraction. So Esther was a young nerd fighter. She was, I guess, 14 when I met her, probably. And from the time that I met her, she was very sick with cancer. She was, from the time I knew her, her cancer was never considered curable or anything. And through the process of knowing Esther and knowing her family and her friends, I really came to imagine the world and this story very differently. This is just the very beginning of the book, so no spoilers, It's only been out for a couple weeks here in the UK. It's true. Don't laugh, it's a fact. All right. Late in the winter of my 17th year, my mother decided I was depressed, presumably because I rarely left the house, spent quite a lot of time in bed, read the same book over and over, ate infrequently, and devoted quite a bit of my abundant free time to thinking about death. Whenever you read a cancer book or website or whatever, they always list depression among the side effects of cancer, but in fact, depression is not a side effect of cancer, it's a side effect of dying. Cancer is also a side effect of dying. Almost everything is actually off topic, but a lot of people have taken issue with that line. I don't understand why, because it is literally true. If it were not for cell death, which requires cells to regenerated mitosis and mutation, and etc., then there would be no such thing as cancer, cells mutating out of control. It's just a fact. And we know this because, of course, we know that zombies do not get cancer. So, anyway, my mom believed I required treatment, so she took me to see my regular Dr. Jim, who agreed that I was variably swimming in a paralyzing and totally clinical depression, and that therefore my meds should be adjusted, and also I should attend a weekly support group. This support group featured a rotating cast of characters in various states of tumor-driven unwellness. Why did the cast rotate? A side effect of dying. The support group, of course, was depressing as hell. It met every Wednesday in the basement of a stone-walled Episcopal church shaped like a cross. We sat right in the middle of the cross, right where the two boards would have met, where the heart of Jesus would have been. I noticed this because Patrick, the support group leader and only person over 18 in the room, talked about the heart of Jesus every freaking meeting, all about how we, as young cancer survivors, were sitting right in Christ's very sacred heart or whatever. So here's how it went in God's heart. The 6 or 7 or 10 of us walked/wheeled in, grazed at a decrepit selection of cookies and lemonade, sat down in the circle of trust, and listened to Patrick recount for the 1000th time his depressingly miserable life story. How he had cancer in his balls, and they thought he was going to die, but he didn't die, and now here he is, a full-grown adult, in a church basement, in the 137th nicest city in America, divorced, addicted to video games, mostly friendless, eking out a meager living by exploiting his cancer-tastic past, slowly working his way toward a master's degree that will not improve his career prospects, waiting, as we all do, for the sword of Damocles to give him the relief that he escaped lo those many years ago, when cancer took both of his nuts, but spared what only the most generous soul would call his life. And you too might be so lucky. Thank you. The founding editor of ecogeek.org, and he invented 2D glasses, which render 3-dimensional movies in a crisp 2 dimensions. True story. He was like, do you want to invest in this idea? And I was like, no. And you know who was wrong? Me. Most importantly, in 1998, his classmates at Winter Park High School voted him Best Dancer. Ladies and gentlemen, Hank Green.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
How are you doing? How's my brother? Scream for a little longer so I can sit on my guitar. Everybody, I think my brother's football team just lost. Or they tied. And it was sad for him. He was unhappy. So, I love this power. Imagine a cat. Is it cute? What are you thinking of? I just feel like somebody asked if it was alive or dead. Imagine a dead cat. Oh, it's Bo. Oh, she was imagining Schrodinger's cat. So I want to sing you some songs today. Since we're already talking about physicists, let's sing a song about physics. It's about quarks. It's a really weird thing to sing about. A quark is a fundamental constituent of matter, observed in 1968 through deep elastic scatter, and we found that protons aren't as simple as we thought. We thought they were solid particles, but they are not. Protons, in fact, are made up of 3 separate pieces. It just gets more confusing as our knowledge increases, and that is what a quark is. It's a piece of a proton, and they also make up other things, including a neutron. Oh, up, down, strange charm, top, bottom. If you don't know what a quark is, it don't matter, you still got them. And the leptons and bosons and the somethings and this, they make up everything that we can see and that we know exists. If you know the words, you should feel free to sing along. What? We are. There's like a soundproof wall here. Yeah. Things made up of quarks, including protons and neutrons, are composite particles that physicists call hadrons. Many types of hadrons are theoretically described, but most exist for only very brief amounts of time. Quarks have electric charge, color charge, mass, and spin. Color charge means they exist solely inside of other kinds of particles that cannot exist alone. These particles have never been studied on their own. No, up, down, straight, sharp, up. If you don't know what a quark is, it don't matter, you've forgotten. And with leptons and bosons and lesser things like this, they make up everything that we can see and that we know exists. Well, quarks can join together in two different ways, baryons and mesons, but most instantly decay. If a particle has two quarks, then it's a baryon. If there's one quark and an antiquark, then it is a meson. These tiny bits of matter are part of almost everything, and there is no unified theory that make it less confusing. But the fact that we've identified that they exist at all is so freaking remarkable that I just didn't all.
Down, straight, sharp, top.
If you don't know what a quark is, it don't matter, it's the top. And with leptons and bosons and lesser things like this, they make up everything that we can see and that we know exists. It's called Book 8. Who wants to know more about Harry's sons? I really think there's an unwritten story, and I think it's time to put fingers to keys. A lot of people, I don't want to know more about Grindelwald and Dumbledore. I really think that they're both bad and lefty, and I think there's probably a good story there. For Book 8, there's one of a gay, yeah, one of a gay. J.K. Rowling to say that the epilogue was crap, cause we all know it was crap. And I want J.K. Rowling to say that Voldemort had a son, and the story's just begun. And I want J.K. Rowling to say that she's writing Book 8. A lot of people, I don't want to hear the tale of that mysterious veil. I really think it's a dimensional portal, and I think Sirius is in Middle Earth. And I know I want to hear the one about Hagrid's dad and Hagrid's mom. I really do think that that's nearly impossible. I think there's probably a good story there. For Book 8, I want to look gay. I want to look gay. And I want J.K. Rowling to say that the epilogue was crap, cause we all know it was crap. And I want J.K. Rowling to say that Voldemort had a son, the story's just begun. And I want J.K. Rowling to say that she's writing Book 8. She could call it Harry Potter and the Knights Who Saved Me, or Harry Potter and Luna Love Who Gets Her Own Frickin' Book, or Harry Potter. And I didn't come up with anything for that one. Or Harry Potter and the Time Lord Fight the Daleks, or Harry Potter and Friendship is Magic. Harry Potter and Dan and Phil go to the mall together. And then our fires, you know that I wanna be gay. Oh, I wanna be gay. Oh, Harry. Okay, in America that's like, uh-oh. Here it's like, that's like top, okay. As good as it gets. Anyhow, so I'm always worried. I was talking to a bunch of people and they kept saying that they were okay, and I was like, why are you okay? Yeah. Anyway, songs is why I'm here. So I often do these sorts of shows, and we do questions during them, and some during a period of time last year, I kept getting a question and I didn't have an answer to it. And so I wrote a song in response to that question, which does not require a cape-off. Go home. Because there's something happening on the internet and I don't really get it. Once again, I'll have to say, I'm just not into that, but I'm sure that I'll regret it. Because I know thousands of people never cared about anything more. They've spent the last 6 months making tumblers, fanfic, and bulletin boards, and I think all that excitement is great. But when they ask, I have no choice. I still have to say that I don't have a favorite pony. Because I've never seen that show, and I don't have a favorite pony. Because I'm 31 years old, and I don't have a favorite pony. Because I'm a self-respecting dude. And I don't have a favorite pony. Because I just can't choose.
The first question is not about the Ball Next Stars, it's from Lauren. How did you become inspired to write Will Grayson, Will Grayson? A question that I've included because the person to whom I dedicated my half of Will Grayson, TFioSLive, a very early nerd fighter who started watching our videos early in 2007, is here with us tonight from the Netherlands. TFioSLive was a huge inspiration for me in writing the story because I knew him from the time when he was like 16, and I watched him go through the process of coming to terms with his own identities, as you know, as all teenagers do, and I watched him go through the process of coming out, and also he's just like a really funny, fun, big personality type of person, and while he would be quick to say that he is by no stretch of the imagination Tiny Cooper, and to acknowledge that he enjoyed David's half of the book more, he was a huge inspiration for the story. Okay, yeah, that's fine. So we're going to do a Question Tuesday segment, but instead of asking each other questions, which we thought would be boring, we thought we would bring out a special guest like New York Times bestselling author Maureen Johnson. By the other brother. Unless it's Maureen, then it will be whoever talked last.
Hey.
Yes.
Who was the cool brother while you were in school?
Neither of us were cool while we were in school. We didn't go to school at the same time in the same places, because he's 3 years older, so by the time I was getting in, he was getting out. But no, neither of us were the cool brother. I was the cool brother.
I feel I also know the answer to that question. Just wondering, how many pairs of glasses have you gone through in your lifetime?
In my lifetime?
In your lifetime.
Oh, I don't know, dozens, but...
Please answer the question.
29.
Hank, what is your favorite part of the... Oh, I thought it said universe, but it says internet.
Both of those things are very big. Have lots of parts. Earth is my favorite part of the universe. It's really great here.
A popular favorite.
Warm. Lots of cats. So also, likewise, Tumblr. Lots of cats. Who else would be ready? I'm not really sure.
It's Tumblr. I'll just be clarifying Hank's answers from here on out. Yeah. Wait, let's hear the cheer for Twitter. And let's hear the cheer for Facebook.
Yeah!
And let's hear the cheer for Tumblr. YouTube's alright. It was cooler in 2007.
Alright, I want John to think. I don't even know. I don't even know what's happening. John, you've admitted that you used to love reading the Babysitter's Club books. But who was your favorite member of the Babysitter's Club?
Claudia, that's easy. It doesn't get fun.
Okay.
Hank, what was the last thing you've eaten?
The last thing I've eaten?
The last thing you've eaten.
Is the word eaten.
Eaten.
Okay. I had some Doritos upstairs. In America, Doritos are automatically cheese flavored. There's no, but here, Doritos are just salty chips. And then you have to have special Doritos if you want flavor. So I had the non-special ones. They were really non-special. They were corn chips.
Okay.
What do you call those? Crisps.
You're crazy. John, if you had 1 week and money wasn't an issue, but travel still took normal people time, what would you do and where would you go?
I would spend it at home. If travel is going to take normal people time, why would I go somewhere else? I quite like my house and my kid. Hey, you try traveling with a 3-year-old.
Hank.
What?
When have you felt most proud of John?
Most proud? That's a very sweet question. I think he's a really good dad. I think he's a really good writer. So that he's been able to do both of those things very successfully makes me very proud.
Alright,
He's a shit brother.
I'm going to clarify Hank's answer.
John, summarize all of world history in a sentence. Summarize all of world history in a sentence? But they put a question mark on the end, so summarize all of world history in a sentence?
No?
I accept that answer. Hank. For aspiring vloggers to promote their videos.
What?
A good place for aspiring vloggers to promote their videos.
I think YouTube is good. If you want to upload your videos to YouTube, that actually used to be like legitimate advice that you would give to people. Like, how do I get people to watch my videos? You should not put them on your own site, in your own system, but use YouTube. It's great. There's a whole community, and people would argue about that. Oh, those are the days. But no, I don't have any idea. I am really good. I know how to start a successful video blog in 2007. I don't know how to do one now. I have no idea. So go to 2007.
I would say really quickly, sorry, I'm probably going to stop now. It's okay if you have an audience of 20 people, as long as you have an engaged audience of 20 people. The first 7 months that we made Brotherhood 2.0, like when Tobias was watching us, lots of other people who were here, only a few hundred people or 300 people a lot of times were watching our videos, but we still had a community. We still were able to do projects together and find ways to decrease world stuff together. And you know, we didn't need an audience of thousands of people, and that can grow organically once you have that small audience.
All right, just hold on to the mic then. Because it's your question, John. John, is there anything that you wanted to do, but were too scared to?
I can't ride the London Eye, but I don't want to. All of the things that I'm afraid to do are things kind of by definition I don't want to do.
I completely sympathize with the person who wrote that and not with you at all. There are lots of things that I want to do that I'm too afraid to do. Well, like this 4 years ago, you know? Like, I wanted to play live shows and I was too afraid to do it.
You were scared.
Yeah, I got up on stage the first time I played a set and I said, "Hoop!" Because I tried to start playing a song and there was this thing inside of me that came out instead. And it was called Hoop. Yeah, what?
Someone pulled out a guitar, he wasn't even ready. Someone's like, here's a guitar.
So yes, I think, yeah.
Yes!
I put a really long question near the end.
You did that to me. Corey Johnson, everybody.
One of the problems is that when it's time to make baby fish, and you're a fish, and you have to find another fish of the other gender so that you can have babies, and it's hard when you're a fish, man. It's hard. And it's really frustrating when you can't find a guy and it's the right time, right? So, what the deep sea anglerfish has developed a really interesting adaptation to get around this problem, which is that when a male is born, females are just normal fish, but when a male is born, he is super tiny, and he has just a mouth and a nose and a tail and testicles, and he is incapable of like digesting food. So he is barely even an animal, but his entire mission in life is... And
being as we are in the United Kingdom, we would sing, that we, try to be the proclaimers. Just for these few minutes.
When I wake up,
Yeah, I know I'm gonna be the man who gives up this to you.
and when I go up,
Then I know I'm gonna be the man who
there's a lot of you. And when I get drunk,
Then I know I'm gonna be
I'm gonna be the man who gives up this to you.